But observe here, whenever we try to execute this one, so for execution purpose, what we need to do, you just directly press execute button here, green arrow mark is there, or else then you can press F5 only, shortcut key. From your keyboard you have to press F5. Once if you press F5, then it will start the execution here. So when I am going to execute, but this web page is going to execute in which browser? Google Chrome browser. But sir, I want to change my browser. So every time I don't want to execute my web page in Google Chrome browser only. I want to execute in Internet Explorer or other browsers which we have in our computer. So how do we change the browser also? I will tell you. First, when we execute this first time, then it will execute in the Google Chrome browser, because default it is setting Google Chrome browser only it is available. Okay. Now you will see this. It's going to be run in browser only. Let's try to yes, it's opening the browser now. So this is localhost webform1.aspx. ASPX is nothing but it's an extension, active server page extension, we can call it as localhost webform1.aspx. Now when we see this output here, when as soon as when we click on button control, you will have some output called hello. So we'll have some output called hello. So it's okay, no problem. But my requirement is what? I want to change the browser while executing my form, my web page. How do we change the browsers are here? To change the browser, this is the way. Go to Solution Explorer. Here you can see your website is having only one web page called webform1.aspx. But if you want to change the browser, you can see right click on this webform1.aspx, which page you want to run, and you can see there is an option called browse with will be there. So browse with. Once you click on browse with, now you can see in your computer right now how many browsers are existed. It will show here list of browsers and which browser you want to work with, Firefox or Google Chrome or Internet web browser and Internet Explorer, anyone you can use. I'm going to use Firefox for example. After that selection, then you can make it as browse. Now this time your web page is going to be open in Mozilla Firefox browser, not Internet Explorer. Okay, like this you can able to change the browser settings also, where you want to run, how you want to run, you can able to do this. Some technical issues are there in this browser, no problem at all, we will see this. Now let's close this, otherwise we'll go for other browser. Here I'll show you browse with, browse with, browse with. I'm taking once browse with, so you can see again it is going to open some browser list here, and now this time I want to go for Internet Explorer and browse it. Now it will browse in Internet Explorer clearly. So this is going to be browse in Internet Explorer. Click on submit and here get output same here. So compulsory browser is required. Okay, browser is required because browser is a software which is used to manage different types of web pages. And server is required. What is that? Web server. But default web server in ASP.NET is what? ASP.NET Web Development Server, which will come by default with Visual Studio software only. You need not install any web server. Default web server ASP.NET Web Development Server, but most of the cases in real time used web server is IIS, Internet Information Service, we can call it as IIS, we can say that. Okay, yes. Now this is what button control here. It's okay, no problem. Next, here you can see this is what ASP.NET web page design. This is what source part of the design. This is HTML and CSS related code here. But where is the C#.NET codes are? Yes, C#.NET code is here. Once you double click on submit button, and you can see button 1 underscore click event, whatever we have written code, this is completely C#. So that's the reason here webform1.aspx.cs is there. CS means C# code. All ASP.NET web pages, all ASP.NET web forms and everything is going to be present in system.web.ui controls, web user controls, web controls here. So this is what namespace which is required for what we can say controls and web forms are present in that. So this is partial class only, web form 1. Web form 1 means every web form is a part of the web page only. The main page is ui.page, means UI means user interface. So this is what we have seen previously. Now today I am going to show you how many ways to design the ASP.NET web page. So there are few ways are there. What are the few ways? I will tell you now. How many different ways to design web pages? Different ways to design ASP.NET web page. Different ways to design ASP.NET web page. What are the different ways are there? One is drag and drop. One is what? Drag and drop design. Next one is table format design. Table format design. Yes, we can do table format design. Next way is source code design. Source code design. Source code design. So drag and drop option is there. Table format design is there. Source code design is there. Drag and drop means what? Simply you can able to drag the controls from toolbox and drop into your web page. For example, you can see there is a toolbox is there. You just drag the control and drop into here web page. We can also do this design. But what is the problem of drag and drop option means whenever you drag and drop, every time when we execute the web page, that web page will be open in a particular browser. For example, for the first time it was it open in the Google Chrome, and next time sometimes you may change the browser like Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer or some other browser. If you change, then every time the output is going to be different. Complete output will be different because controls will give some unwanted behavior. Unwanted behavior means what? Controls will not display in proper position. You may get some different output also. Means for example, while designing you place the control here where left hand side, there may be chance to move the control from here to here also when we have drag and drop option, because there is no structured where we can fit this all controls within that. So that's what drag and drop option, just for practice purpose we can do, but most of the cases in real time drag and drop option is not work out. What is the problem with the drag and drop? Drag and drop option will give unwanted behavior of the controls. There may be chance to get unwanted behavior of the control, means controls will move freely from one place to another place whenever we change the browsers. So you will not get proper output of the design which is going to display to the end user. So that's what either we can go for table format design or we can go for source code design. Anyone you can use. Table format design means what, sir? You have to prepare a table, okay, with a few rows and few columns, and after that in that columns you have to drag and drop any controls. Once we prepare the table with rows and columns, once you drag and drop the controls in that table rows and columns, so controls will not move anywhere out of the table. So controls are fixed inside the table only. So you will not face any problems of unwanted behavior of the control. So drag and drop option is better. Sorry, table format design is better. And source code means even we will go to source code design also while creating tables, and in that table we will create some drag and drop options also, no problem. But in the source code design, what is happening? You will not see the design completely. You have to write manual code. Manual code means, so editing is very simple and options are very clear. So most of the ASP.NET designers in real time will follow source code design. I'll tell you source code design and table format design how it is. Drag and drop means this is only I drag the control previously from toolbox. You can drag and drop the controls like this, any controls like this. Here you can see this, like this is drag and drop, but that's not good idea to drag and drop. So I want to prepare some design, some user interface using table format design. How to prepare user interface using table format design, you can see this. For that I want to take one more web page. So if you want to take one more web page, right now your website is having only one web page like webform1.aspx. So you can, if you want to add one more web page, you can go to project menu, add new item, and click on web form template. So here web form template I'm selecting. Now webform2.aspx is there, second web page it is. Now simply that is what, click on add. Click on add. So you have successfully added webform2.aspx. As I told you that whenever you create a new web page, every time you will prompt to source part of the web page. This is source part of the web page only, but you have to go to design part of the web page. I'm going to design. So here I'm placing here, you can see division tag. And in this, I want to prepare one table, sir. So how to prepare table here? You can see this. So for preparing the table purpose, what we need to do? So you can go to table option here. Menu is there, table menu, and you can click on insert table. Insert table, number of rows and number of columns you can select, how many rows, how many columns you want. So 3 rows and 2 columns is need for me. And here you can see in pixel format, in percentage format, width of the table it is required. Width means 100%. 100% means entire the page it is going to be fit the table, but I don't want to use entire the table. Just 50% is enough. Small user interface I want to create, so 50% you can take. And after that, border size, border colors also you can able to know, you can able to do this. Now border color I'm giving this one, background color also you can able to set that, but I don't want change background color. Now click on OK, then it's going to create table here. It's very simple table it's created. You can see here, row 1, first row is having 2 columns, and second row is having 2 columns, third row is having 2 columns, like this. But here this is table format design. Now here you can place the cursor in which row, which column you want to drag and drop the control. I am placing first row, first column, and go to toolbox. I'm taking here label control. Just I'm taking label control. Here second, first row, second column I'm placing. Here I want to take text box control. So text box control, go to toolbox and drag and drop text box control. If you do like this, what is happening, sir? This controls will not come out of the table. So these controls will never give unwanted behavior, means it will not going to be move anywhere. It's going to be fixed permanently in that table only. So this is the best way of design. Even once we execute this page into different browser also, if you change any browser, it will not change any different look and feel. Same look and feel it's going to be displayed here. And here you can see again I'm taking one more label, but if you want to take every time label, so you can take. Otherwise you can see copy and paste also, you can do this, no problem. So I'm just copying this text box by pressing Ctrl C and come to here and Ctrl V. You can also do this, copy paste also is possible. And here I want to take one button control. Here you can see one button control I'm taking. What is that button control? Here it is button control. And here I want to take one more label because I want to show the information clearly. What is that? Just whether login is successfully or not. So this is the label here, but it look like small size controls are there. So every control is having small size, but you can see one by one control. If you select and go to properties, and you can expand font size. So font bold is true, you can take, and font size also you can able to give that. But one by one control, if I give font size, font bold, then it will take a lot of time. Okay, that's what we can do. So I can select this all controls at once. So select this all controls at once here. Now here I'm taking this one labels all together. I'm selecting by holding control key and go to solution explorer, go to go to properties, and at a time I'm going to change this font bold and font size. I'm taking here font size is somewhat x large or something large, you can take, no problem. This is font size I'm taking. Now here I want to give some clearly label controls, text. This first label text which I want to give, suppose enter username or something I'm using. So here I'm taking username colon, and this text second label text I'm giving, this is password I'm giving. Here I'm taking password, and this button control is what actually bt text here I'm giving. So login I'm taking login. Login is a button control name, but control identification also very important. btn login I'm taking. btn is for button identification login. Once I use btn login, now this label is for just for display the data. So when whether it is login successfully or not, I want to display the data. So that's what label 3 lbl display I'm taking. But at runtime I don't want to display this label, so that's what this label text I'm going to remove this. Once you remove this text, it will not appear at the running time, only it will appear when after performing login operations. So I'm going to execute this. You can see This clear structure is going to execute under one browser. The default browser I set that Google Chrome. In Google Chrome only it's going to be happen. Now you can see I didn't write any code actually. So right now, oh, we are executing that one only. Sorry for that, because we changed startup object here. That is, I want to execute this one and browse with Google Chrome. Now you can see this is what clear design is there, login button. So clear output is coming now. So I have to write code for this. How to write code for this? So you should double click on this login button. Just normal code I want to write. So this logic is not at all interacting with the database. Actually, this logic should interact with the database. First, we have to register. That registration details we need to store in database. After that, we have to check out whether username and password is correctly located in database or not. We have to check out. Then only we can able to find whether username and password is correct. Then only we can able to find user ID, password and correct or not. Then only we can say login successfully or not successfully. How to display that. But I'm not going to write that kind of code. Just I want to compare inside the logic only. I'm just compare. Simple if else condition I'm writing here. If else condition. So how I'm writing if else condition, you can see if is a condition and text box 1 is my first control name. Now you can see text box 1 dot text equals to. So I'm giving the name, username is Mohan, and text box 1 text box 2 dot text box 2 dot text equals to. Again I'm taking chain, open and close. If text box 1 dot text equals to Mohan and text box 2 dot text equals to Mohan, both are username and password same. If it is correct, then only I need to display the details in label display dot text equals to. In label I want to display what I want to display, login success I want to display. I'm just displaying login successful. If something went wrong, means if you are not entering proper username and password in that both the text boxes, I need to display again error message like lbl display dot text equals to login fail. I have to show you login failed. I want to show you login failed. This is login failed. Now let's run this one. So I should give this user ID and password in both the text boxes. Whatever username and password here I'm giving in both the text boxes, then automatically so here web form 1 only it's going to be executing every time because I changed the startup object. Let me show you web form 2 I want to run. So even you can change web form 2 also here in the URL. I'm changing web form 2.aspx, then run this. It is coming now. Now I'm going to give some different username and password here. You can see both size I am giving, but according to my code it's wrong actually. So when I click on this login failed, it is coming. And when it will be login success means whenever user ID and password is correctly I have given, and it's going to compare with the coding, then it's going to be say login success. This is I'm going to display that whether it is success or login failed, where I'm going to display this is the proper label control is there. But you can see whenever I try to enter some password, it is going to visible to everyone. But if we don't want to visible to everyone, then what we need to do? So we need to change that text box 1 text box password, and let's stop the execution better. Now select this text box and go to properties. There is a properties here, password or text mode properties. There you can see there is a text mode properties. The text mode is single line, and here text mode I am using password. Once I use text mode as password, then what will happen? So whatever we enter the data in the text box, second text box, that is going to be not going to be enter anything here. You can see again it is showing. Now you can see we are having form2.aspx. Now I'm entering this one, and now this time whenever we enter, this password is not going to be visible to everyone in the password entry text box, because for this text box I changed that password mode is text mode is password. When I click on login, then login successfully, it is coming clearly because correct user ID and password I have given. So this is what username and password checking. This is drag and drop design with a table format, but without table format there may be chance to get some controls unwanted behavior. To avoid this, what we need to do, we can use proper login controls with table format design. So this design, when we execute in different web browser also, output will be same, look and will be same, look and feel will be same. You will not change any what we can say design, it will not going to be modified. This is one pattern to do the design here, table format design. And what about source code design, sir? Source code design means, so you will never involve in the designing part. Directly you can go to source part, and there only we can able to type manual code. How to do this source code design, you can see this. So you can see I'm just going to create a new page. So project menu, add new item. So in this web form template I'm selecting now again, and web form 3.aspx is there. Now click on add it. So you are in that source part of the web page only. In the division you have to write manual code completely. It's also simple. Most of the real-time designers will follow this kind of source code design only. Let's go to design. Nothing is there in the design. Let's move to source part. Now I'm going to create table here. How to create table and all, font size, everything we can able to manage clearly. So how I'm doing, you can see this. First of all, I want to create a table here. I want to create table here. So let's try to create table here. So how to create table? So this is HTML code I'm writing. Table. Now after that, what we can say, table is having some what we can say tr means table row. In this td is there, td means table data. Now you can take first a label, asp colon label id equals to label 1, run it equal to server is attribute compulsory required, because it is going to be all asp.NET controls are executed server side only, so you know that very well. Okay, so run it equal to server, and the text equals to what text you want to give, label text, you can give that. Username I want to give, and after that uh, font size equals to, font bold equals to true, and font size equals to what we can say double x large or x large, we can say that x large I'm taking. So this is what complete label control which I prepared by manually typing. So close this label control. So where I created label control, in table, in the tr means table row, in td means table data. In this row we have to take one more td, so one more td for text box control. Either you can write text box control like this, you can see text box control, sorry, asp colon text box id equals to txt username, just control name it is. Now run it equal to server, run it equal to server, and font bold equals to true, and font size equals to x large, same x large I'm taking. Okay, this is what text box control I prepared here. Let's give this something, font size equals to x large. Oh, x large, and close this one. So we could prepare one first row, it is successfully completed design. Once we completed design, you can see this how look and feel is there. Now you can see this is username and text box, it's there like this. And second row I have to go there. Second row I'm creating tr and td. And observe this, in this td we need not to we need not to prepare labels by default. By typing code, you can go to toolbox and drag and drop labels also. You can try to drag and drop labels, run it equal to server, text equals to password. Okay, font bold equals to true, font bold equals to true. Then font size equals to what we can say X large I'm taking. This is what I'm doing. Now one more TD I'm taking here. TD means table data, and here I'm going to take text box control here, drag and drop, because you need not to write manually every time, so just drag and drop also is possible. Text box ID is txt, text box name txt, password I'm taking, and run it equal to server. Here also I'm taking font bold equals to true, and font size equals to X large I'm taking. Font size equals to X large, like this. Okay, so this is about completely TD. So we got the design look like. Here you can see username and password. Third row I need to take, that is text box button control purpose. I'm going to take, that is third row also, tr, and now you can see ASP colon button control, or else you can able to drag and drop. ID equals to btn, login is a button ID. Now run it equal to server is attribute, and font bold equals to true. This is one way to design. Font size equals to what we can say X large. X large. Now you can take four color, background color, anything also. It will be effect, no problem at all. Now you can see font size, four color equals to red, back color equals to what we can say green. Okay, border color equals to what we can say uh, yellow. Like this we can do this border color, all the things we can do. Finally, when we go to design, now look and feel, oh, button control is not added. Why? Because the thing is, we have not able to give this in this row TD. TD we forgot to mention that. That's what it's not going to be happen button control creation. Let's remove this one completely. Cut it. Inside the TR, we have to take TD compulsory. TD means table data. Here we can place it. Now it will happen. Now you can see design. Once we go to design, button control is not available. So why it's not available, I'll tell you. Because we forgot to give the text of the button control. Text I'm not giving. We have to give text. No, text equals to what you can say login. Now go to design. Oh, here it is also not coming now. Why it's not coming, I'll tell you now. uh, let's select this TD and go to source. Yes, it is there, TD only. Why it's not? What is the problem here? I'm not getting this, why it is happening. Let's try to drag and drop at least. Now you can see, go to design. Now it's coming. Okay, no problem. So button one, btn login. btn login is button name, and text equals to, that is login, and font bold true, four color red, back color green, and border color yellow. Then finally what I need to give, font bold, font size I'm giving font size equals to X large. So when I do this design, now you can see it is going to affect it here. But here there is no border of the table. So if you want to give border of the table, then table border, I can give this table BORDR border equals to BORDR border equals to 1 I'm giving. So border equals to 1 means now you can see we have table border also. When we execute this one, happily we can able to run this one. Webform3.aspx. So there are few ways to design. What are the ways? Still it is going to be webform one only because I changed the I gave that startup object every time it has to be run with the form one only. So I will remove that later, don't worry. So form3.aspx I'm doing. Now you can see this is look and feel, username and password, and like this only we can okay. So through source code also we can do this, or else through design also you can do this, or else just drag and drop also you can do this. But most of the time I will follow drag and drop only. Why? Because for time constraint. So it will take every example I can't go for table format or source code format because of it takes a lot of time to design and even to write code also. So that's what in our sessions most of the cases I'll go for drag and drop options only here. Okay, but the problem in real time drag and drop is there may be chance to give controls unwanted behavior. To avoid that, either we can go for table format design or we can go for source code design. Table format design is the better option here. Okay, or source code design, you can say that. But in this example, you can see previous example, what is I discussed this one form 2. The result is going to display in where? Label. But instead of label, we can also give somewhere. So what is that? There is, I'll give comment section now. Response dot write I'm taking. Response dot write. Response dot write. Response dot write means that output or message is going to display within the page itself. Response dot write, I want to give some h2 tag. H2 tag is a heading tag. Now I want to say login success. Login success. I want to close h2 tag. I'm just closing h2 tag. But now this time we can see when we execute this form 2, when we execute this form 2. So what is happening here? When we click on login button, that output is going to display in the what we can say label control, not form. Within the form only it will display. I'm giving some username and password correct. So where it is going to display output that message login success, because I have used in my coding response.write method. Response.write method, whenever we use, your message is going to display within the page. Or whenever you want to display a message in a particular control, then we can use lbl display.text. Both are possible here. But apart from these two options, I want to go for script. Script means what? Alert box I want to display. So response.write. If you want to display alert, then we can have response.write. Response.write. Same code you have to use. Now you can see script tag I have to use. Script alert. I'm giving alert message. What is that? Login success single colon, and a script is going to be closed. Script, I'm going to close script. So let's close this one. Now you can see script closed here. Let's run this one. Once you run this, it's going to be make that script. Again it is going to run. Now form2 .asp. Now here you can see MYHN and MYHN. When I log in that, so script is going to say that. This is called script JavaScript. Here you can say login success. It's going to say that web page. Okay. So if you want to display the message to the user in script mode, then we can use response.write script tag alert message we can use. Or if you want to display message in the particular control, that control name dot text and login success. Or if you want to display within the page itself, response.write login success. There are different ways to display message to the user here. Okay, so this is the cases actual here. Next, in ASP.NET there are two types of coding techniques are there. I'll explain that, then I'll close it now. Two types of coding techniques are there. What are the coding techniques here in ASP.NET? I'll tell you now. So I have some documentation for that. Let me open that. So you can see this, there are coding techniques are available. What are the main coding techniques? Now you can see clear options are there here. I prepared notes also well clearly. You will never get confused. Different ways to design ASP.NET web page, drag and drop table format source code, what is happening, how to prepare the table format design with screenshots also I have given. You need not to get confused. Okay, yes, control identification. Now here there are two types of coding techniques are there in ASP.NET. One is inline coding, next one is code behind or outline coding, we can call it as code behind technique or outline coding, both are same. One is inline coding, next one is code behind or outline coding, we can say that. Both are same techniques. Okay, but here you can see this is the diagrammatic representation of coding techniques in ASP.NET. Inline coding, outline coding or code behind technique. But here you can see in inline coding, designing file, that is webform1.aspx is a designing file. Coding file, that is webform1.aspx.cs, this is a coding file. Designing file and coding file both are present in same location. Webform1.aspx, webform1.aspx.cs, both are. Now you can see in our example also we have both are present in same location. Designing file is webform1.aspx, coding file is expand that webform1.aspx.cs, this is coding file. Both are present in same location, yes. But what happens are when designing file and coding file, if it is present in same location, so here programmer need to wait until the designer should finish the design. So here webform1.aspx is a designing file. Designer will design the code, but programmer, so webform1.aspx.cs is a programming part. Programmer need to wait until the designer should finish the design. So programmer time is going to waste because he has to wait a lot of time. Once a designer finishes the design, then only he can start the development of code. So that is webform1.aspx.cs is a coding file. So the drawback of inline coding is designer will finish the design, then only programmer will start writing the code. Here programmer time is going to waste and programmer ideal time is more. Means he can sit simply until the design is finished. But here there is no security also in inline coding. Why? Because programmers may designers may view the programmer's code also, because designers designing file and coding file is both are present in same location. So programmers may view designers may view the programmer's code also. That's what no security of programmer's code in inline coding. So that's what in real time most of the people will follow what outline coding or code behind technique. In outline coding or code behind technique, what is happening? Webform1.aspx like design file is separate location. Webform1.aspx.cs coding file is separate location. Two are different location. If we maintain these two files in different location, what is the advantage? Designer can design the code, design the application, design the form, and programmers can develop the code. Both tasks are going to do parallelly. In this technique, designer will do their design and programmer will write the coding. So programmer need not to wait until the designer should finish the design. So programmer idle time is not going to be waste. Actually, he can able to start develop the code only. And moreover, in this outline coding, programmer's code is very secured. Why? Because designer cannot view the programmer's code, because this programming file location is different and designer file location is different here. Both are different location. That's what there may be chance to what we can say, there is no chance to see the programmer's code. This is security purpose we implement in real time, but in our coding purpose I'll follow only inline coding only, because there is no chance to split the programs. So I am only designer here, I am only developer, so both are going to be located in same location only. So these are the coding techniques in ASP.NET available here. I have given description also clearly here. Okay. So in next session we will see what are the things are available and what coding, what redirection is there, and how to what is the execution steps involved in the ASP.NET. We'll discuss in next session. In session 3, we will go for ASP.NET code execution process and how to redirect from one web page to another web page. Okay, we will discuss clearly in detail in tomorrow session. Okay, I'll send that videos and materials all together at once only. Okay, after a few days I'll send this all session 1, session 2, session 3, how many sessions are there, and videos also totally I'll send once at once. You can download it immediately here. Okay, yes. So see you tomorrow at same time. Do you have any queries? You can ask me now. So ASP.NET practice is important. It is completely dry subject. It's not straightforward code. Here and go, here and there, you have to go and change the code and come again here and go there again and come here. Like this, some complexity is there. But coding is very simple. But steps need to be followed more here in ASP.NET. It's not like C#. C# is just straightforward. So directly we can discuss the topic and write the exam, write the code. But here it is completely involving completely here technical based. How the request is going to server, how the response is coming from server, how to do this, all those things. You have to know that clearly. Okay. Yes. See you in next session.
Are you going to share the, yeah, yesterday's and today's session you're going to send?
Yeah, I'll send.
Yesterday
Don't worry. Yeah, see, my plan is what actually I am trying to send all videos and all material at once only, because daily basis that every time I should record and again I need to upload, my drive is going to become full. So that's what my plan is. I'll send this ASP.NET session wise material and ASP.NET all videos at once I can able to send to you. Okay, you can download it and you can keep this material in your computer, and regularly you can attend the sessions. That's enough.